This is it, Big Daddy.
Let's go.
Welcome, everybody, to the North Coast Podcast, the one and only podcast where the interview turns into improvised hip-hop songs. I am Douglas.
I am Mel.
I am Dr. Brick.
I am Adam.
And sitting to my left is one of the funniest people on the planet. You know her from Written in Brooklyn. You know her from her new book, Tears from a Blonde. Did I get
Tears
that right?
of a Blonde?
Tears of a?
Tears of a Blonde.
Tears of a Blonde.
Leave it to the woman.
Oh my goodness.
I researched.
I mansplained your book to you. Carly Ann Filbin.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to the studio.
Yes.
How's it going?
It's going so well, minus the fact that you mispronounced my book name, but
I mispronounced your book name. Should we try that again?
probably because you're probably going to cut this. That, right?
No, I think it's all acceptable.
Frank, roll. We're rolling.
Frank.
Frank.
Frank. Is Frank the
Love
name
you,
of
Frank.
the DP that we don't have?
do you
I'm literally controlling this whole thing from this
Okay,
iPad
you are
right here.
okay. I'm so sorry. You guys are so. I'm like in awe of you guys. I really, really am.
You're wild.
I don't know how deep we're gonna go, but we were like
I've known you
a
for
very
15
long time.
years.
The first time I
Wow.
met you, purple tank top,
Yeah.
exposed nipple.
Did you have exposed nipple? Well, okay,
No,
so
no,
I didn't know we were going to get
All
right
right.
to this story.
Okay.
You had exposed nipple.
I had exposed nipple.
Not me.
Oh, I was this little NYU boy, and I was wearing a.
That's
Yeah.
I thought you were
purple.
saying
Not me.
you had exposed.
That's what I thought too, to be fair.
No, I'm sure I was wearing 5 layers
Okay.
at that point. Yes.
Yeah. No, I thought
Yeah.
it was Doug that had the exposed nipple.
you.
Yeah, no,
Thank
So
you,
that's
Adam.
2v2, Brick. Who did you think had the
I
exposed
thought
nipple?
Doug had the
Okay.
exposed
Okay.
nipple.
Okay. Okay.
Was this at the bar that collapsed later? Is that what you're
Yes,
talking
yeah.
about?
Did you
We
guys-
met that day?
No, we didn't meet that day. So Doug and I we did improv together.
Okay.
At
Carly's cutting to the quick, by the way.
Okay, yes.
This is the story I didn't know was going to come up or not, and she jumped
ton
right
of stories,
to it.
ton of stories. I didn't plan it, but I'm looking at you. I'm thinking about danger, and our friend Patty Tubbs, beautiful
Realtor
person.
on Rockaway Beach now.
What? Yes,
He's a
yes,
realtor,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, so if you're looking for beachfront in New
Yeah.
York, he was a co-owner of this club, Libations.
Libations, yes.
And Monday nights we would practice at this club on like the upstairs dance floor.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't have said the name of the club because of
Oh,
anyway,
what happened?
so-
Was there a
Bleep.
lawsuit or
well, I
something?
don't know, but okay.
Oh.
Something happened. I don't know buildings. I don't know construction, but the building started to collapse while we were doing zip zap zap. And you guys need to see. Have you seen the security footage?
No.
Doug, it's the funniest thing in the
Whoa.
whole
Oh,
world.
What?
But we weren't in there, were we?
Yes, we were. We heard this huge. I can't even describe to you this noise. It really felt like a mountain was collapsing, and we were inside the mountain. The security footage, we all just scramble. Some people run away. One person runs under a little table like this big. I go to the corner. In matters of danger and emergency, I tucked myself under my coat. That's what I thought would save me. And then somebody screamed, and we all left. And then we had to sit across the street at the bar. Our coach, I remember, had taken her shoes off, so
Chelsea Clark.
Chelsea Clark. She didn't have any shoes, and it was raining. And then they blocked off the street for the rest of the week.
Oh my God.
You know what's so weird? I feel like I wasn't there.
Honestly, now that you say that, I don't know if you were.
Yeah.
But I know that.
I thought you were talking about a different thing.
No, but I know that you were in that group. That
I was in that group.
did
And
it-
you were there the day. I saw the clip online, but I wasn't there.
I gotta get that clip. I gotta show you guys. There's nothing funnier than this footage. It's truly so funny because you don't see anything collapse on the video. It's just all of us.
Just running.
Yes,
Just scattering in comical slapstick ways.
yes, it's so
Wow.
funny. I thought the sky was falling, and I hid under my jacket. You never know what you're gonna do.
God.
We all
You
It
never
just
might have
know.
helped. A
Yeah.
little.
That double stitch would have saved you.
the double stitch on the jacket.
Yeah, yeah.
I know we want to move on. I'm sure you're gonna cut this. But
No.
the
I have more to say about this
Oh.
exact story.
Okay, well, so
This might
we
be
had to
most
like
of it.
we had to like run out of the building. We didn't know like any second this was gonna collapse.
Yeah.
But our friend Patty, the offices are on the floor above the dance floor, and his dog was there.
No.
So
Whoa.
no, so he went back up, and we're like for like a minute, we're like, is it gonna collapse? Are they dead? And then we had to sit.
And they were okay.
They were okay. Everything was fine, and we had to sit in this bar for like 2 hours because we couldn't like get out of the street. And I did give my number to the bartender, and he did not call.
A tragedy.
It is that's the real tragedy of the day.
Yeah, people would always have like free drinks after this practice group because Patty, who was in the practice group but also owned the nightclub, would pour drinks for people.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you weren't there. I wish you were.
But all to illustrate that Carly and I go way back and that you are one of my longest comedy friends.
Yeah.
We've also had Anna Roisman on the podcast, who I've known for almost as long, but you longer.
So long. And now, sorry to just talk about us the whole time.
Sorry.
No,
but
no,
now
you're
Doug and I
fine.
both, have four-legged dogs, and we go to the same dog park
Yes, we see each other in the morning all the time, at least once a week.
at least once a week.
Wow, that's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
Good.
Wow, I love that you're the interviewer now.
Yeah, great. Sorry.
I was just gonna say that the story of the bar collapsing, like I feel like that panic that set in. Oh, I have a question and then a comment. My question is, did you know that something was happening to the building, like in that moment?
In that moment, I don't think you could really think.
Right.
It's just, I guess I thought the ceiling was falling.
Yeah.
It was a huge cracking noise.
Yeah, because I feel like I had a similar experience, and maybe we all did recently when we had that earthquake in New York.
God.
Oh my
where,
God,
like,
I forgot about
I'm just
that.
at work in a basement office, and there's rumbling happening under me, and I'm like, I think your brain just goes to this weird, like, you've just never had to protect yourself in a moment where like you thought you were safe. So it was just like, oh, there's suddenly a subway train is under me and is about to explode out from the ground. Like, that's the only logical thing I can think of.
You know that meme
And
where all the Californians in New York simultaneously just got really egotistical?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I did that. I wasn't worried at
You
all.
were like, it's fine.
I was like, oh, this again?
But I just I didn't even hide under a jacket. I just walked over to my four-legged dog on the couch, and I didn't even like protect him. I just put my hand on top of his back and stood there. Like, I didn't know what to do. Like that was my earthquake 2024
Yeah,
experience.
you don't know what you're gonna
I just
do.
stood there. And I said,
Your hand was the coat.
my hand was the coat.
Oh my God.
He was like,
You
totally
don't know
calm.
what you're gonna do. You don't know what you're gonna do. You don't know what you're gonna do. When the shit hits the fan. Okay, it's improv practice 2010. I'm hanging in my tank top with all of my friends. Was I there? Doesn't matter. I'm flattered that you thought it because we're hanging out, and in my carotid I feel a little pulse. It's going up and up. I hear a rip like I'm in a submersible, like in the one that was next to the Titanic, and the ceiling starts to crack, and then I feel a crazy panic.
'Cause you don't know what you're
gonna
do.
Gonna do.
You don't know what you're gonna do. Gonna do. You don't know what you're gonna do.
Gonna do when the ceiling hits the fan. Oh, shit hits the fan.
What did I do? Well, I just touched my dog's back. Not like Carly, who went to the corner in the back. She said, I'll be okay, and I have my jacket to thank. And are we gonna circle back on the nipple in the tank? I don't know whatever happened to that part of the story. But then we went to a place that got scary, but not so gory, because you got out before the building went down. But Caitlin is still missing her shoe. Was it found?
Oh, don't know what you're gonna do. Gonna do. Chelsea Clark. Don't know what you're gonna do.
I was thinking Caitlin Clark. Topical.
Don't know what you're gonna do. Gonna do when the shit hits the fan.
Oh man, oh boy, for goodness sake. Ugh, we're in the middle of an earthquake. Well, this is kind of fun. I am feeling glee, cause now we have such an opportunity. As a Californian, I get to be pretentious. Every time somebody else starts to mention the fact that they were scared, I can be ha 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 ha. I was not. I felt great. Oh, first time, brah?
Don't know what you're gonna do. Unless you're Adam. Don't know what you're gonna do.
It's like my 31st earthquake.
Don't know what you're gonna do. Gonna do when the shit hits the fan. Yeah, what you gonna
If
do,
you
Carly?
know what
wanna
you're
do,
You know what you're gonna do, right?
what she gonna do?
Okay, I have something to say right now, and I hate to ruin your day. okay? But I was reading all those jokes that Californians made, and it's like, maybe you don't have to make those stupid jokes.
I don't know another way.
Okay, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like every time something happens and it means something, you don't have to go to the internet and scream nothing. It meant something to people in New York, so back off, everybody. We had a fucking earthquake.
Don't know what you're gonna do.
Gonna do.
Kinda.
You know what you're gonna do.
Hand on the dog. I know what I'm gonna do.
Gonna do.
When the shit hits the fan.
Leave it in your drafts.
Leave it. Yeah.
Leave it in your drafts.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Guys,
Amazing.
I give I give North Coast so much credit, so much praise, but really rapping with headphones on too. I'm like, wow. It feels like it's one of these things.
Specifically with the headphones
Yes,
on.
the headphones
Putting you in your head.
impair you. I
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
so Carly, right before we started rolling, you said I have huge news.
feel. The biggest news.
Okay, wait, real
And-
quick, before Carly announces what the news is.
Yeah.
I know we all thought something in our heads of
Yes,
what
yeah,
the
yeah,
news
go,
was.
go, go,
Okay,
go,
okay,
go,
okay,
go,
okay,
go.
okay.
That
Alright, you
moment
start
of
with you.
tension, yeah.
Okay, what
This
did
is
I?
gonna make me feel really bad. Okay.
Oh, it might not, but it might. Wait till you get to mine.
Okay, I think it's today the Met Gala. We were just talking about the Met
Oh, we're
Gala.
just
talking about
today.
The big news was like Carly was like, I have a hard out at 7:30. I have to go to the Met Gala.
You
Wow.
That's
thought
what the
that.
big news was in my head. Yeah, yeah.
That is so nice of you.
You're welcome.
I love that. All right, mine was I thought you were gonna be on Kimmel.
Oh,
Oh.
good one. Good one.
Okay, thank you.
Good
Thank
one.
you putting it out in the
Okay.
universe.
I am an anxious person. I was sure somebody died.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair.
Yeah,
Fair.
I just thought it was some like big award that I don't know what, but I was
Yeah.
ready for
This is
some sort of like big award or something. But I guess what you got is basically some
the
big
biggest
award
award.
for a New Yorker too.
Yeah, I pick
Okay.
up on tone
All right.
differently than
Drum
y'all.
roll.
Drum roll. What was the big news, Carly?
Well, I did get the award of freedom. I passed my driver's license.
Let's fucking go.
Okay.
Drive, 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 drive. Now drive, 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 so you can thrive, thrive, thrive. When you're behind the wheel, you're alive, live, live. Put your turn signal on, 'cause you earned it, bitch. Yes, it's time to drive to Greenwich, Connecticut, Connecticut, Connecticut. Going upstate New York. But no, you're not driving to Florida. We only go north, 'cause New Yorkers get Civics and Corollas and Hyundais, and then they drive all day.
Oh, drive, drive,
drive, drive, drive, drive, drive, drive, drive, drive, drive, drive, drive,
Drive, drive, drive, drive, drive. Yeah, you can drive anywhere, anywhere you like. You don't have to rely on Uber or on your bike or on your feet. You don't even need to walk. You can drive in your car, and to a passenger you can talk and say what's up, and they'll say sup, and you'll say NM you, and they'll say NM too, and you'll say cool boo, and then you'll drive, drive, drive up to Connecticut.
Connecticut.
I love this road trip to Connecticut.
Oh, drive, drive, drive.
Drive, 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 drive.
Up to Connecticut.
Oh, drive, 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 drive.
Up to
Connecticut.
Oh yes, you can drive and you can feel so regal, 'cause you remembered on that test to turn on the turn signal. Yes, you can even in the middle of the dark put it in reverse and parallel park. Yes, you know that the brake is on the left. Yes, you will not leave the instructor bereft. You impressed them, you did not get any points off, and then you can go and drive off to
Connecticut! Connecticut!
New Haven, Hartford,
Connecticut!
You
And
can go to New London.
drive, 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 drive,
Off of a cliff.
Connecticut. So many cliffs.
Surprise ending.
Wow. It took a turn.
Did you go to driving classes?
Oh my God. Okay, here's the story. I got my driver's license when I was 16, and then, what is it, last for 10 years? And then me being like 26, 27, like, I live in New York. I'm never leaving. Why would I ever leave? Why would I ever need to drive a car? And I just let it lapse. So then I'm like, I have a dog now. I have to take care of her. I want to, see the national parks. And so I had to take, and it was like, I took my temp, like, what do they call, we call it temps. What do you call it?
Permit?
Yeah, permit temps. I took that test in, like, I don't know, 2021, and, like immediately after I got dumped, and please don't think about that, or you can, whatever, anything's on the table. But he had a car, so then after, like, I was too sad, I didn't have a car. You need a car.
To be in a relationship?
To be in a relationship.
Oh, no, I didn't.
No.
Frank, did you know that?
Yeah, Frank does have a car.
boss. Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta have a car to be in a relationship, boss.
So
Frank,
I had
so
to
wise.
take so I took the temp test. This whole weekend, I had to take a 6-hour defensive driving online course,
my God.
and where they checked up on you every few minutes to make sure you were there, and I had to take like 6 tests in between.
What?
And then I took it in Red Hook, and I looked up on Google Maps the reviews yesterday, and it has like 2 stars, and it's like, they failed me. I didn't do anything wrong, they failed me. And I'm like, fuck. Also, I had to have someone 21 or over accompanying me to the test. I'm 38.
Oh, wow.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
and then after the test, they don't tell you pass or fail right away. They say check the internet at 6 p.m. So I had to wait all day. I'm like, am I going to be a good dog mom? Take my dog.
I literally
Connecticut. Yeah.
Parks in Connecticut.
I saw this update on Carly's Instagram this morning at like 11 a.m. and I was like, I knew we were recording tonight at 6:30, and I was like, she's either gonna walk in there on top of the fucking world, or she is gonna be sad.
I was like,
And I forgot when you walked in. I totally forgot that I saw that this morning, and so it all
but I
came
did
back.
pass.
Okay, wait, but is
So
this
cool.
you have to renew your? You have to take a test if your license
you-
expires.
After 6 months, or maybe after a year, but yeah, mine has been expired forever.
So if it expires, but within a certain time frame you renew it, you don't have to take a test.
exactly. But
Okay.
mine expired again like a decade ago.
Okay. Okay.
I
This
did
is
not know
good
that.
to know. I didn't know that
I
either.
had
Don't
to renew
let it
mine
expire.
recently, but it wasn't expired that long.
Okay. Because Molly's is
that's
currently
true.
expired, so I gotta let her know.
I had to get a vision test for my recent one because they were like, "Hey, you wear glasses, you wear contacts, Bucko, prove it, prove it that you like have an
Yeah,
up-to-date
that you can see.
prescription for your eyes."
Yeah.
So they're not messing around with those stop signs in the vision and all that
I have
That's probably good.
I have a Vespa, which is like a
Okay.
scooter.
You do?
I do.
You own one.
I've had one since September of 2019, which was the best choice I could have made before the world.
Do you
ended.
rent it out to people?
Never.
Because
I've never rented it
I
out.
have my driver.
That's
Are you
a fun
kidding
idea.
me? I would rent out anything.
You're
I would
newly
rent out this
licensed.
half. Like I would rent this out. I'm like, anybody want to sip? $1. Like truly. You gotta make a buck in this town.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
No, but that driver's test experience was also wild because I was like, I had to take a road test, and people are like, "Did the instructor sit on your back and hold and hug your belly while he gave you instructions?" And I was like, "No." But they drive. But
That's a common
it's
question.
Okay, here are the two most
So you
ridiculous.
had to take a different test, right?
No, well, I took a road test, but the helmets have a way to. There's speakers in the helmet, so there's a car behind you, and they're talking to you.
Do
in
you know
the
what they
car.
call that car? I learned it today. Because you guys are gonna flip because of where my mind went. The woman was like, "Okay, you're gonna go, and then the chase car is gonna follow you." And I thought it was like a stunt academy.
chase-
Yeah.
Like I thought they were like learning like how to be.
You thought it was
stunt
Jason,
doubles.
Jason Bourne behind you.
That's what I thought. That's exactly because my mind was like, I was so nervous to take this test.
It's terrifying.
And they say Red Hook is the worst place to take it in.
That's
Oh
where I
my
went. I had to
God.
go to Red Hook for mine too. For
Yeah,
the
and you don't know
road
where
test.
to go, and then you just you
Yeah.
just ask a pedestrian, and they're like, "Pull up on the side of the street, you idiot!" Like there's no building. That's why I look
Yeah.
cute. I'm like, I'm gonna get my photo taken.
Wait,
what
the
happened.
DMV didn't have a designated
No, it's like
building?
no. You pull up on this, and then you realize, oh, all these cars in front of you.
Yeah.
It's literally on the side of the road. You wouldn't know
Yeah.
unless you were there to take your test.
Yeah, when I took my driver's license, that's back like 2019 or something like that. Yeah, I did it through a driving school, but then then he drives you to just again like this random
random
like,
road.
and then you're just in a line. So if you weren't doing it through a driving school, I can see how they'd just be like, just pull up here, this random side of the road. Like I don't know. Yeah.
The Vespa's
Well, what's
so
your
cool.
what?
I'm going to Italy.
You want to rent
Ooh.
it out and take it to Italy?
Take it to Italy.
You can get a what are they there's so many in Italy.
Yeah,
for
but you have to
rent.
have a license from here, you guys.
You have to have a license from where?
Here.
You,
do
you
what?
have to have a special. Do you have to?
Okay, here's the spiel. So, if you have a Vespa, there's a 50cc, which goes up to 30 miles per hour. You don't need a motorcycle license to have it. You just need a driver's license. So you could legally drive that right now and be fine. If you have a 150 or above, you need a motorcycle license because it goes over that speed. So
Yeah.
I have a
Mario
150,
Kart.
which goes up to 65 miles per hour. So I needed to get a motorcycle license. Hence why I had to do this driver's test, or else I wouldn't have had to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Got it.
And the driver's test, by the way, is ridiculous. You're on a 2-way road in the middle of Red Hook, and you have to do 3 figure eights, 3 right circles and 3 left circles, all without putting your foot down on the ground. Like that, all of those moves at once. Meanwhile, you're on an active street, so they're also watching you to make sure you're looking to see if cars are coming while you're doing your figure eights in the middle. And I was like, this is not, when will I ever need to be prepared? All of your faces.
Well, because do you mean like figure eights,
beautiful.
like you go back, or no? Do you really mean like weaving?
You just weave, you go
Okay.
up. Yeah, you're just like making an 8, but like not hitting the curb, looking out for cars coming both ways. And a truck came and I was a little late. I didn't get hit, but I did get off 1 point on my test.
I got off. You can get you have to get a score of 75, and I got, I think, a score of 75. Wow. Yeah.
You just made
Hey,
it.
you
I
passed.
just made it. On my parallel parking, I'm like, fuck. And I got 10 points off because I made too many maneuvers.
No.
And I didn't even know there was like a limited amount of maneuvers.
Wow. Well, you got it.
Let's
I got
go.
it.
Are you going to get a car now, or is it just for
Come
Italy?
on. No, it's not
With all
even
this
for.
Vespa
It's not even
renting?
for Italy. I like to travel a lot,
Yeah.
and I'm a single dog mom.
Yes.
So I have an incredible situation. You guys, I went on. Oh God.
Let's hear it.
Okay, this
Okay.
is the moment
You
I've
have
been
our full
waiting for.
attention?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to block some people on my Instagram if you choose to make art out of this. I went on 2 dates with this guy. The first date, got drunk and just kissed him on the lips, and I didn't know if it was a thing. I kind of thought it wasn't, but everybody gets 2 dates, right?
Yes.
Second date, he wanted to talk about the kiss and asked if we could go slower. I'm like, absolutely, I don't like you. I'm happy not to kiss you tonight.
Sorry, when you say talk about the kiss and he has to go slower, do you mean go slower in the relationship or go slower during the kiss?
Oh, great question. In the quote unquote relationship.
Okay, because I thought you were having a dialogue about the kiss.
Yeah.
For a second, and I was like,
well,
whoa.
Yeah. Anyway, I was like, I'm never going to see this guy again. At the end of our second date, I have like I bought these shelves that I just cannot hang. He's like, I can hang these shelves for you.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm like, absolutely. And this is not a
Movie.
euphemism.
It's like you're in a
This
movie.
is not exposed nipple. This is like literal shelves. So he hangs my shelves for me. They're very difficult to hang. He does a great job. Then afterwards, like the next day, he texts me and he's like, hey, like, how do you think basically I got from him, he wasn't feeling it. But I think he wanted me to be feeling it, and then there would be like hope for him, like, oh, but we weren't feeling it.
Yeah.
So, and he had been texting me so much. So I was like, you're right. Like, this isn't going to be a thing. You're such a nice guy. Like, thank you so much for the shelves, and like, good luck out there. Block him, because he's been texting me a lot. This was like 2-3 months ago. 2 weeks ago, he DMs me. I didn't even know he like knew my Instagram. Oh, also I have a book, Tears of a Blonde, and he read it all in between the 2 dates. And it had
In
just,
between the 2
Wow.
dates.
it had just come out. It had just come out. It's a full
Wait,
length
so
book.
you block people after it doesn't work out?
You guys have no idea how many people I block. I block them over text. I block them on Instagram. I block.
Block,
Okay.
block, block.
So he DMs me and he's like, hey, I saw on Instagram that you're looking for a subletter. And also, if you want, I can watch your dog. So this guy that I went on 2 dates with, who hung my shelves, is not only paying me full price to sublet my apartment, which is the size of this couch, he's also taking care of my dog.
But he has no way to text you.
We DM.
Oh.
And anyway, this is all to say I got really lucky this time, but I like to travel. And when I travel, I have to take my dog to Ohio to stay with my mom. But I have said this before, and this remains to be true. I am the universe's favorite.
I was going to do a chorus. I was going to do a chorus, but then I realized my chorus was going to be to the tune of The World's Greatest, and we're not allowed to sing that song anymore because it's by R. Kelly. And so I'm trying to think of a new chorus.
Why can't you reclaim it?
Am I allowed?
He's not gonna make any money off of it.
He's not?
Reclaim it.
The people won't have words from me?
They'll have words for me, and I'll Block 'em.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, what was the thing you said? You're the universe's what? Favorite?
I just am. Like, I get
can
away
do
with
it.
things that, like, nobody should get away with. I'm just very lucky. I'm extremely lucky.
She's so lucky.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I just
Yeah,
can't
by R.
do
Kelly.
it.
Do you
By
guys
R.
think
Kelly.
this is, like,
No.
dangerous that I'm letting this guy watch my dog for
don't-
3 weeks?
For 3 I don't think so.
So.
Okay, thanks, guys.
I think that
You're going to meet him.
I am. Oh, at the dog park at Pacific Park. So I'll be able to get a vibe check on him. Well, so you know what's so funny? So you blocked him, and in my brain, block equal bad vibes. And so I feel like you blocked him, but he's not a bad person. You just blocked him.
He's not a bad person. He just, I'm sorry to go deep, but I am very aware and sensitive to the fact that a lot of straight men use women for like friendship and emotional support. Like, I'm not your friend. Like, you shouldn't be texting me this much. We
Yeah.
shouldn't be conversing this much if it's not flirting after a date.
Yeah.
Even before we met, like, he was texting me a lot before we met. Like, I'm not on dating apps anymore, but I was, and it said, don't Google me. Of course, people are going to Google me.
Yeah.
But goddamn, did he go down a rabbit hole? And I don't like that. And now he's texting me, wants to know stuff about my book, and I don't like
Do you
it.
think he's on the Substack?
Oh, I have a Substack. Of course, he's reading the Substack. I mean, I will have to mute my story from him forever. Anyway, he is a really nice guy, and I wish him the best, and I know he'll take care of my apartment, and I do think he'll take care of my dog.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, he took care of the shelves. That's why I thought it'd be okay.
Yeah. Those are really hard shelves to hang.
Yeah.
So then you're going to Italy?
I'm going to Italy for 3
Okay,
weeks.
yes. And are you going on a dick spree? Like, what's happening?
Never. A dick spree. Never. I am hosting a writer's retreat.
Okay.
My
In
friend
Tuscany? Where?
in Tuscany. My
What?
friend owns a castle. Stephanie Grassley.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Oh, my God. That's a
I-
whole
Oh.
story.
My
Yeah,
friend
that sounds
owns
like it.
It's amazing. My friend owns a castle. She's amazing, and it's usually. Is this too much information? You'll cut. It's usually used for a. I don't know why I have something in my throat. I'm not getting emotional about this, but it's usually a destination wedding venue. She had a wedding cancel. She always wanted to use it for creative things, but they usually don't make her money.
Right.
So she was kind of like, no one's going to book a destination wedding less than a year in advance. Let's do this writing retreat. So it's like 10 days. And then before the writing retreat, I'm going to Rome. Afterwards, I'm going to Venice.
That is so sick.
I know, I'm really excited.
Why does she own a castle?
Ooh, it's a story.
It's a story. I mean,
Okay.
you got to have her on the podcast.
Okay,
Really
maybe we'll
right,
get her on the
too.
podcast.
She has multiple wild stories.
Multiple wild stories. You know, I am a writing teacher, and I really do believe everybody has at least one memoir in them. I really do believe that. She has like 7,000.
Wow.
I would
Used to
be
be in
here.
the improv scene. Stephanie
Oh wow.
Grassley, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she like Airbnb'd her apartment. She made so much money. She got 2 leases. She had 2 leases, 2 apartments. Airbnb'd. Went to Copenhagen. Fell in love with her Airbnb host.
Oh my gosh.
They bought this castle in Italy.
Okay, cool.
Wow.
And now you're using it for a destination writers retreat.
I sure am.
What you gonna do in Italy? What you gonna do in Italy? What you gonna do in Italy? What you gonna do in Italy?
Oh, me? You want to know? I know you think I'm going to be a hoe, but really I'm going to write and think, and really I'm going to not wear pink. I actually went to Old Navy, and they're really, really cute now. Okay, maybe I'll be a hoe.
They're really, really cute
but
What you gonna do in Italy? Bonjour.
What you gonna do in Italy?
Buongiorno.
Ciao.
What you gonna do in Italy?
What you gonna do in I don't know, Carly. I think in Italy, you're gonna stay. You're gonna be like, this is it for me. I'm done. I'm not traveling anywhere else. Yeah, I had a man in the U.S. who hung some shelves, but now I'm here, and things look great. I got this writer retreat from my friend who owns a castle in I don't know where. Pizza.
What you gonna do in Italy?
What you gonna do in Italy? What you gonna do in Italy?
Yo,
What you gonna do in Italy?
Grana Padano, Pecorino Romano. She's gonna ride around in style saying, hey, yo, I gotta get on a little Vespa.
Oh.
If a man is got his testas. Oh, no, not his testas. No, that was a little gross. But, you know, let me say, you're gonna do the most. From Tuscany to Bergamo and Venice. Go.
What you gonna do in Italy? What you gonna do in Italy? What you gonna do in Italy? What you gonna do in Italy?
It would be a time for relaxation and rest. Yeah, but specifically using Mel's Vespa, going around in figure eights, doing it right turns and left, doing great. Get few points off, get that license. You gotta make sure you can keep it when you come back to the States. Don't give it back to Mel, it's yours now, okay?
What you gonna do in Italy?
What you gonna do in Italy?
She's taking it on a plane. What you gonna do in Italy? We got it right. That's basically right.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
exactly
That's it?
it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Especially the Vespa part.
Yeah, especially the Vespa part.
How many students are going to Italy?
You know, not a lot. It's going to be an intimate little,
Yeah.
little intimate
I love it.
writing retreat. It's going to be so much fun.
That's so fun. Your students rock, though. I've been to a couple of like the shows, and these stories are so well crafted. Carly is such a good teacher.
Thank you.
And she runs this school, Written in Brooklyn. Can you tell people a little bit about Written in Brooklyn?
Sure. I say it's a place for all things personal storytelling. So if you're familiar with something like The Moth, it's like The Moth, but better. It's simple. I just teach people how to write about themselves. And if I can get them in the door, they never leave. And it's become this really beautiful community. I've been teaching for 6 or 7 years.
Wow.
I came up with the name of Written in Brooklyn and only in 2021. I was like, what is the name of my company? But I bought this bag of coffee beans, and on the back it said roasted in Brooklyn. And I was like, that is the name. But yeah, my students are very loyal, very diehard. I think that everyone comes to my classes for something like, they do want to learn how to write, or they want to turn their comedy into storytelling, or they're looking to be more creative, but they stay because of how much it validates their life experiences. I want to say you can't put a price on it, but you can, and I'm raising them. But to be able to work through your life experiences, figure out why you did what you did, tell it to a room, have them listen and validate you.
Yeah.
It's really, it really is an incredible experience, and I know that it is my purpose to teach this. I
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
do.
You're so damn good at it.
Thank you.
I feel like, I don't know. Have you ever, I'm not going to ask that, but yeah.
What?
No, I just, you deal with people's, let me figure this out. You deal with people's guts. You deal with some really heavy shit. Have you ever had a moment where you're like, that's not the one. That's not the story. But then they're like, they really want to tell that story.
You mean for my show specifically?
No, like a student. Have you ever had someone come in
Yes.
and they're like, this is the story, and you're like,
Yeah.
maybe not.
Yeah. Well, truly, I really do believe we have stories upon stories upon stories. We just can't see ourselves the way other people see them. But I will say, if somebody comes in and they're like, this is the story, and it's not the story, it's usually, and God bless them, it's people under 25. Because they just don't have the perspective, or they just don't have the perspective.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't have perspective. I'm older than 25, but a lot of times when I tell people who aren't in the comedy scene that I'm like, I do improv, and they're like, oh, like you stand on stage and tell stories. I was like, no, that's stand up. And they're like, why don't you do stand up? And I was like, I don't know what I would talk about. I was like, I feel like to do stand up, you have to come from a place of being real and true stories. And I know we all have them, and I'm sure you're the biggest believer in this, that we all have them. But I'm like, where do I even start?
But that's exactly
That's
why
my
you
question.
come to me.
Right.
And
Where do I start, Carly? Where do I start?
listen, 99% of my students, they don't think they have anything to
Yeah.
talk about.
Yeah.
But I'm very good at giving people prompts to mine their memories. And then, my whole class is, I'm really not trying to sell my class, but it's all hand holding. Like we have so many prompts that I know work, and we focus on something every single time. You're going to hear other people tell their stories. You're going to be like, oh, that reminds me of this. You just have to get into the right, like somebody could say that about North Coast, right? Like someone, like I'm sure you have people that come in and are so scared for your classes, so scared to rhyme, whatever. And I'm sure by the end of the first class, they're rhyming.
Because it's the same thing. Like what I tell people when they're like, I can't rhyme. I'm like, well, you've been like taking in rhymes since you were a little kid reading books. So it's inside of you. Your brain likes to hear rhymes. So like, it's just a matter of tapping into that. And for you, it's like, we've lived a whole life, so we naturally have stories. We just need to tap into like where they come from and how to bring them out. So it's the same logic.
It's just, people just need permission and guidance and teaching, but really it's permission.
Without paying you any money, we would love to play like a little game of like a writer's block game. So if there's any prompts that you love, we have to pay you. Okay, let me get my wallet.
Paid you.
I'm
Paid you in
giving
Spindrift.
I'm giving you a Vespa. I'm giving you a Vespa.
A Vespa to go to Italy and a Spindrift for the road. And I'll do, what do you
want?
want?
Sweet. Just like a fun like prompt, like a writer's prompt game. We could even turn it into raps or something. But like if you have any sort of fun thing that for the free version of your class that you would like to share with us, we'd love to like play a little game with you.
Okay, well, a prompt that that the first prompt that comes to mind that I have I have two.
Great.
I like.
We're not paying extra for both.
One is open-ended, and one is might take you somewhere.
Ooh.
But a prompt that I really like is blank is the story of my life. So maybe like running late. Running late is the story of my life, or the dog park is the story of my life, or dealing with liars is the story of my life. I love that prompt. And another prompt I like is to vividly describe an ex-lover's bathroom.
Oh, they're both so fun for fully different reasons.
Does that get you anywhere or no? Do either of those get you anywhere?
I've got two.
Okay.
Two
Well,
ex-lovers.
I just feel like in many ways water is the story of my life because I love swimming and like being in water. Like I love being in water, and I don't know if there's anything that dramatic about it though. But like another thing
Okay, but you say that now, and if I would work with you, we would talk about different experiences in water, and then you're going to remember something, and that's going to be the thing. So I really teach this framework, which is a way you can tell a story about anything and kind of make it universal.
Yeah.
So the framework is, you can cut this, but the framework is, I'm very passionate.
I love it.
The framework is a way to ease the audience in. They're learning your voice. They're learning what you think is funny. So, jokes are subjective. So you're actually teaching the audience what you think is funny. And when they recognize that, they laugh.
Oh.
You're amazing.
And also if they're reading it on the page, they're like sitting down, they're petting their dog. If you're telling it on the stage, they're getting a drink, they're flirting with the person next to them. So I start with this framework, and the framework is, the first thing is like an identifying factor about you. So maybe it would be like, just what I heard, and then we would framework is like a coat. You try it on for size. If it doesn't fit, you get a new one.
Yeah.
But just what I'm hearing from you now is like, were there other instances in your life when you feel like the adult, or do you feel like the child always, even now? But this one instance, you felt like the adult. That's one thing we could explore. That would be the framework, and that would then be the focus of the story. So even though your mom was freaking out, you grounded the incident, if that makes sense. But we would do this longer and for weeks.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to think of my blank.
I think I have my blank.
What's your blank?
I would say.
What's your blank?
Oh yeah, I'll say it that way.
What's your blank?
Adam?
What's your blank?
What's my blank?
What's your blank?
I'll tell you my blank.
What's your blank?
My blank is.
What's your
I would have to say that color is the story of my life.
Oh.
Yeah, for a couple reasons. There are many details. Yes, they are particularly rife. But specifically, I remember when I was in college getting into photography, I took classes and classes. I passed and I passed, but I would only do okay. And everything was only in shades of gray. It wasn't until that third attempt with digital photography, with that time spent, and I actually incorporated color into my eye, and suddenly the skies opened wide. Everything was sort of painting with a new palette. And yeah, I was pretty good. I was pretty good at it. I suddenly felt like a more complete vision. It was really, really something that really meant a lot to me. But in additionally, I have to say that color has another meaning for me because I'm half black and I'm half white. I don't fit in anywhere quite right. Need to sort of figure out some things culturally speaking, what it means to me. My mom is really white, but I do not seem like my surroundings. So it gets a little real.
Can I say something? I'm not going to rhyme, but as a storytelling teacher, if you have the time, it's really interesting that you started this story with seeing life through black and white. You decided to add the color, but then you're kind of saying you see yourself black and white. And maybe other people, I don't know, we're talking about perception here, and there's a lot that you can dig into, my dear. So maybe
Yes. What's your story? What's your story? What's your story?
What's your
story,
story?
Mel Rubin?
I'm still trying to think of my blank. So for this question, I have Carly the thank. I guess like hyperfixation is sometimes my story because I just like go down the rabbit hole of the internet and research things to death because I'm scared of being wrong. It's like when you learn a song, you're like, I have to know every single word in order because if I don't, then I don't get it right. And somebody's like, oh, I feel like I need to always make the right choice. So I go down like research rabbit holes. But I love it. I think it's so fun. I think that might be like part of how I see the world in a way. I don't know.
What's your story?
I just had to talk it out.
Story?
What's your story? What's your story? What's your story?
What's your story? What's your
story?
Mel, one thing that I was thinking about is your amazing journey. Like, I don't know, watching you, we can cut this if you
Oh,
want.
sure.
But your journey to Molly
Yeah.
is really amazing story.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love it.
The drug?
The journey to my journey to
In
the
a way.
drug, Molly. No.
Oh, wait, your
my girlfriend.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That was
Who's
totally
also my
wrong.
drug? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love is your
love.
drug.
It's-
Okay, sorry, but I have to put a pin in the fun and games
Yeah.
because what I heard from your story,
Yeah.
like even though
Yes.
you enjoy going down this
Yeah.
like rabbit hole on the internet because you like to know a lot
Yeah.
of things, you did mention other people's perception of you twice.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, because you don't want them to think you're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes
You're
a lot of
so
sense.
damn
But
persistent.
a
so
lot
good.
but a lot of times, like a lot of things, you develop these habits because of maybe a negative reason if
Yeah.
you wanted to, but they become good things about you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Like, I love that I research things to death and I'm like, I want to buy a new iPad. I'm going to look at every single model, everything. I'm going to watch a million review videos. Sometimes that's for me because I'm like, I don't want to make the wrong choice. But there's other choices, right, where I'm like, I don't want people to think that I didn't do this right. And even the
interesting.
Molly thing is
Okay.
interesting too because it's like, yeah, I like started dating women in 2021 and that was like,
oh my God! So that was like 2 days ago.
yeah, it was 2 days ago.
Congratulations!
Thank you so much. But yeah, that was like a big thing was like perception of me from other people. And I think that's a very classic story with people who are queer and maybe trying to explore and whatever. But it was like, yeah, that like definitely carries over to different parts of my life for sure, where I'm like, why do I care so much?
That was fun because
Yeah.
we would go on, Mel and I would go on noon walks over like early pandemic.
Trademark, noon walks.
Noon walks. None of us can say it. It's our phrase.
Noon walks.
It was a walk at noon.
Yeah.
Which pretty much every walk was just sort of like talking about dating and relationships.
Yeah.
And both of us like pining for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, watching that sort of journey of you being like, hey, news today. I'm like opening up my hinge to,
To
ladies.
both. Yeah. Yeah.
And how that was great.
Yeah. You were with me for all that.
Yeah. Oh, it was good times. Good times. But, you know.
It was a wild ride.
What a setting to have self-realization, Prospect Park.
Prospect Park every day.
Every day.
I know, me too. I'm surprised I didn't run into you. I don't think I knew
know.
who you were, but
And then that was like when I started running. My first half marathon, we traveled there together at 4 a.m. I
we
remember.
did journey there together.
You're a part of my story.
and you made me part of your group that day, and that was very nice.
Oh yeah. Oh, all of my coworkers were running.
Yeah.
I don't consider them my group.
I'm like, hey, can I hang out with you for the 5 hours?
It was
we have
very
to wait?
sweet. And then you did the New York City Marathon.
Yeah, and I'm doing it again this year.
Epic.
Let's go.
Why? But like not in like a why would you do that to yourself? Like an actual like they say runners like need to find their why. To like why are they doing it? Like especially a marathon. It's like what is your why?
And my why is the same why that. So this will be my third marathon, but I'm not like a marathon freak. My last marathon was because I was really going through a lot and I needed to focus on something that was outside of myself. And after I ran that, I said, I will never run another marathon again. And then like 2 months later, I'm like, New York City Marathon. Well, that was 2 years ago, and I skipped a year. But it is because in this life, we live creative lifestyles. I just, everything I do is I'm rolling the dice like every day, just like a lot, just like I know we all are, but to have a goal, a huge goal that like 1% of the world has accomplished.
Yay!
Thank
Frank,
you.
clap louder.
Frank.
I never ran no marathon.
He's so wise.
And like there is like a training plan, and if you follow this plan, you will get the thing. Where else can you give yourself that gift?
So real.
And
Yes.
and running has always been like I do consider it at this point part of my creative practice.
Yeah.
I feel like your people are going to see that and be like, "Who's this like uptight storytelling professor?"
It's not uptight at all.
at
I feel
all.
like that's actually very spiritual.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get so many ideas when you run. I remember after that marathon, I'm like, "Are you gonna run the marathon?" You're like, "No."
You can. I know. I bumped into you and your dog at like Grand Arma Plaza, and you were like, "You signed up, right?" And I was like, "Absolutely not." But I did another half marathon, and I just signed up for my third half marathon.
that's incredible.
For this September. So,
Okay, great.
yeah, a full one, maybe one day. I'm not saying no, but
What's the pain like after a half?
the pain.
Yeah.
It's not awful. I mean, I think honestly the worst is immediately after. Like you just walk so slow. Like you cannot catch up to your friends who are with you supporting.
Also, your brain is like, it's
Yeah.
really your brain.
Yeah.
Like your brain has been somewhere else
Yes.
for 2 hours or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And you're exhausted because you had to get up at 3 a.m.
Yes.
I want to just say something about marathons. I'm only doing this one because it's the New York City Marathon,
Yeah.
which is very different from a lot of other marathons.
Right.
It really is just like, God, I know you hear this all the time with the New York City Marathon, but it renews your faith in humanity. All these people coming out to run because they wanted to do something for themselves. New York, who they might not know a person in the marathon, but they're like, we are going to celebrate this dumb thing for the purpose of celebration and community.
Yes.
And it's a really special experience.
It's
really
my
is.
favorite day. I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, but like since 2013, since I moved here, like I watch it. Sometimes I know no one, sometimes I know 30 people running it, and it's like no matter what, it's like you bring the Swedish fish and you bring the paper towels and you bring a sign and like you cheer, and it's just like
Swedish fish and paper towels.
On the route.
Let me
like,
read.
when
Yeah.
yeah, because like runners need sugar, and sometimes when it's like
Yeah.
very hot,
Yeah.
so strangers
Yeah.
who don't know you, they might
Yeah.
not know anybody
Yep.
running. They are giving gifts to
Yes.
these other New Yorkers. It's really beautiful.
Yeah,
it's
so-
gorgeous.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is the most I've
It's
ever
wild.
wanted to run
It's
the
like
marathon.
it's
I know,
fire.
right?
Honest
It's,
of little
it's my
candies.
favorite day.
Also, just one more thing: the amount. So to get into the New York Marathon,
Yeah.
most people fundraise.
Yeah.
The amount that people fundraise for like good causes, it's a really incredible experience to be a part of it. It really
Yeah.
is.
Oh, I'm so happy for you that you're doing it again. I'll
Thank
be there
you.
cheering and getting hot pictures of you,
Okay, thank you.
which I know are the two things you require
And
from
that's what
anybody
I want,
coming. She'll always be like, "Thank you. I'm so glad I saw you at this event. Did you take any pictures of me?"
It's because I'm too cheap to hire a
just kidding.
photographer.
It's okay. I have portrait mode and I'm good at it. So
you.
Yeah, right.
it's fine.
Well,
No,
besides
that's
the
amazing.
marathon,
Yeah.
is there anything else in your trip to Italy? Is there anything else you're looking forward to?
I'm really just looking. I'm doing the Artist Way this summer.
Oh.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I'm actually, I teach it / facilitate
Yeah.
it. So I'm really, it's the only thing I'm like doing this summer in terms of like I have to be there and do that. And I'm really just building up Written in Brooklyn. I know this sounds insane, but I am spending the summer not chasing, attracting. So I'll be out there attracting this summer.
I love that.
And that's what I'm looking forward to. I feel, I don't know, I think I feel like the most me I've ever felt.
That's so awesome.
And I got my driver's license.
I'll be out there attracting. I'll be out there attracting. I'll be out there attracting.
Okay.
You won't catch me chasing nothing.
I'll be out there attracting.
I'll be out there attracting.
I'll be out there attracting.
I won't be chasing nothing. Check me out on the Italy. Yo, I won't be diddling anybody else other than me when I'm up in Sicily. Check me out eating pasta. People say hi, I say basta. I don't need that shit. Espresso with Neapolitan with pizza. I'm beyond attracting nothing. I don't really want to be chasing nothing. I don't want to be chasing nothing. Yeah, I'll be attracting something.
Okay. I can't. Triplets are so hard. Okay.
You could just talk over it.
Okay, no, I could do it. Okay. I got nothing. Adam, you go next.
Triplet,
Come back
triplet,
to me.
triplet.
Come back to me.
Cool, I'll go next. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna be doing. Wow, triples are hard.
Julia Cameron.
Julia Cameron.
Artist Way.
Artist, wait. Hey, how did you know? That's what I was gonna say.
Say.
I was bringing up that thing because I know because I know once the blah. What is happening?
Adam be stammering. Julia Cameron.
Who is
All of
that?
those words are absurd. And you be hammering. She is the author of The Artist Way. That
Cool.
is what I came here to say. I am sorry that I took the song. Okay, Carly, do you want to try?
That's really easy.
No. No.
Attract, do not chase. Attract, do not chase. Run that 23-mile race. 26.2. Attract, do not chase. Attract, do not chase. 26.2-mile race. Attract,
Okay.
Do not chase.
Yeah, that race is so long. Go buy Tears of a Blonde on Amazon. And you cannot go wrong. Chillin' here with Carly. You know that she sees stars, see? Out in Italy, yes, see? She can now drive a car, see? Okay, that is the truth. I love being with you. You got stories for dudes and gals like me to read about. Okay, what else do I want to say? Okay, written in Brooklyn in the Artist Way.
Attract, do not chase. Attract, do not chase.
Okay.
26.2-mile race.
Attract, do not chase.
Carly Ann
Wow.
Filbin on the
Broke my brain.
podcast. Where can people follow you?
Carly Ann Filbin on Instagram.
I love it. You are so amazing. Congrats on getting your
Yes.
driver's license.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
congrats.
you.
Congrats on your
It's
retreat.
not just Olivia Rodrigo, okay?
It's
Yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah.
That's my
No.
favorite karaoke song. That's my new favorite karaoke song.
That's
Doug was there for it.
so
at
that I
one
was
point.
there. We did karaoke here. It
We
was fun.
did. You also, I wanted to mention Young Hot Sluts. You have a show coming up, right?
Yeah, I have a
Great.
matchmaking show at Littlefield, Young Hot Sluts, June 11th. If it's
June 11th. Yeah, it'll
I
be.
think
This will
that's
be
what
out
it
next
is. Yep.
week.
okay, great, June
Yeah.
11th.
Oh wow, it's a matchmaking show.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
Well, too bad the podcast is over. My partner's a matchmaker.
Well, they're my competition.
Oh, the Moth and Morgan.
Oh
God.
competition.
It's just getting so spicy at
Listen,
the
I'm
end.
sure your partner is amazing. Mine is
Nah, take her
leans
down.
heavily on the comedy.
Yeah.
It's an excellent show. Go see it. Go get Carly's book.
Yeah, Tears of a
Yes.
Blonde.
Abundance, not scarcity. There's enough room for all the matchmakers.
Abundance, not scarcity.
And there's a-
Attract, not chase.
There's enough room for anybody who wants my book. It's print on demand.
Even you, Frank.
Oh. Yeah, what do you think, Frank?
Even you, Frank.
Did you do an audiobook?
I did not. It's a ton of work.
Are you going to?
Well, actually, can I? Well,
I just recorded an audiobook last week. I'll cut this out.
Well,
we
what?
should do your audiobook.
Well, if I can come here and do it, yeah.
We'll talk about it.
it.
All right.
Just read it right now.
Be sure to, if you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to like and subscribe. Also, if you're listening on a podcast app, rate and review. That will help us get to the top of your algorithm. Thank you so much for listening.